All right. First off, let me just say I just got home from work. I'm kind of tired. Even though I had a coffee from Starbucks, yes, it hasn't kicked in yet. Otherwise, I'd be much more animated, I'm sure. So, forgive me if I don't feel like going upstairs, put a shirt on, I pull my dirty shit off, I turn wrenches for a living, I throw it down the basement so it can get washed, or my clothes is upstairs, I don't fucking feel like going upstairs right now, etc., etc., etc. So, it is what it is, it's this or nothing. I know the busters, they want to think that I'm looking at myself. I can't even fucking see myself. I see a blur, a blob. And sometimes that's probably not a bad thing, right? But depending on what condition I'm in, I am leaning out. Just started and, gotten serious. Uh, anyway, where to begin? Where to begin? A fella emailed me. He sent me some pictures, which is the thing to do. If you're going to email me and ask for diet advice, send some pictures so I get an idea of what we're working with. And, don't be fucking holding your stomach in and, just trying to make it look as diminished as possible and stuff. Let's see it. Let it hang out in all its fucking glory if that's what the deal is, all right? That way I know where we're at if I don't have a decent idea. And in this fella's case, okay, this guy is over 300 pounds. He's a big dude. Um, Buddy, I'm not going to put your name out there. I'm going to respond in an email also, but it's a lot faster and easier for me to do it this way with the time constraints that I have. Uh, and I'm going to try my best not to be offensive, but at the same time, please respect. We're grown men. And I'm going to give it to you straight. I'm guessing you emailed me and sent me pictures. You want me to give it to you straight. Not going to bullshit around like a lot of motherfuckers are going to do. And they will do, because they don't want to hurt your feelings, because they want you to stick around so they can keep getting your views. Me, I want you to stick around because you're part of the brotherhood. And I'm not going to say anything to try and hurt your feelings, but I'm not going to treat you like a kid either, and I hope you respect that. I respect that in like kind, so let's get to it. Dude, you've got to lose some of that body fat. Like, I know that's what you're trying to do, but what I mean is you got to lose some of that body fat. Let me put it this way. Okay. Now myself, I just decided to try and lose some fucking body fat and come down because I'm from the same old school with Lavroni and everybody else around here. Back in the day, we all started out with basically pretty much the same plan as far as our approach to diet. It's nothing new. And we grow into shows. That's how you do it. You get in shape early and you grow into shows. It's old school. And the big dog for nutrition at the time around here is a fellow that has kind of ran into some trouble with his own personal demons the past few years. I don't know how he's doing right now. I hope he's doing much better because I really genuinely like the guy. But the guy was the shit at one time, was the shit. And he's worked with Kevin and me, of course, and he's a friend. We're all friends. And I'm not going to bullshit you. Most of the really cool shit I know about dieting, I got from him. Now, I dieted myself, got in shape myself, looked fucking awesome, without anybody's help. But he showed me an approach that brought me to the stage 30, 40, 20 some pounds bigger within a year. And I really hadn't gained that much additional muscle. It's just that I lost too much. But that's neither here nor there. Let me get to my point. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Just like I'm talking honest to this gentleman that emailed me that I think needs to concentrate on dropping some body fat right now. This past week, let me tell you what I did. I decided I want to come down because I'm going to lean down, and then I'm going to get into decent condition, hard, and then I'll grow into. By the time the Arnold comes around in March, I'm going to get a real early start because I just want to be lean for a while. I want to hold that condition, and I'm not going to get like crazy condition, but I'm going to get down there. We'll see how it goes. So this first week, let me tell you what I've done. It's completely unconventional. I certainly don't recommend any of you guys to do it. But like I try and tell you, you got to think out of the box. Okay? The only rule is that there are no rules in this game at all as far as nutrition and diet and training goes. What you do is you collate information, you gather information. If it makes sense to you, you keep it. If you're not sure about it, maybe you try it. If you like it, if you think it's going to be good, you try it. And then if you don't like it, you don't keep it as part of your repertoire. You know what I mean? It's not part of your workout. It's not part of your diet regimen. And then after you've learned some things and you've assembled some information that you think is pretty good, solid shit, you learn your body. And as you're learning your body, you can deviate from what you've learned and move more into your own creation, your own version of what works individually for you. And there are no rules, man. You can do something that half the people out there are going to tell you, oh, that'll never work, or oh, that's definitely overtraining, or oh, this is it producing the results you're after? Yes. Better than any other thing you've tried thus far? Yes. Well, then guess what? If it works, it works. If it works, it fucking works. So here's what I've done this past week. I've eaten like very, very little. And in previous videos, you guys have seen how much I eat when I'm trying to blow up. I've eaten very little. And you've never really seen what I eat when I'm like really, really big, because I haven't been really, really big in a long time. This is a downsized version of me from here, It has been. But I didn't eat shit this past week, to the degree that I tried to get almost all of my nutrition, as much as I possibly could, from liquids. And I did that shit for a solid probably 5 days. And it's only been the past 3 or 4 days, I'd say 6 days, all liquid. And the past 3 days probably, or maybe 4, a little bit of solid food, but very little. Now, other than my Fairlife milk, still drinking that. I don't know if I'll ever have to drop that, right? It supposedly has no lactose, so hopefully it's not going to keep my skin thick. We'll see what happens. So far, so good. Now, the Fairlife milk or any milk product, any kind of dairy shit, that's a solid food. That's a solid food. If you doubt it, don't eat anything, just drink milk and you'll take a dump just like it's solid fucking food, dude. It's solid. So, discounting the milk, because the milk is a solid. I'm talking about solid where I chew food up. It's actually solid when you pick it up and chew it up and eat it. No solid food for the first 6 days or whatever it was, something like that, I guess. And in the past 3 or 4, I've incorporated some solid. And what I've been eating, actually, the only thing I've been eating is in the morning I have 1 banana when I get up. And then I will have 1 cup of yogurt sometime throughout the day. It may be in early, mid-morning. It may be end of the day. Maybe last thing I eat because it's fairly clean. And I also now have had the cauliflower pizza that we love so much with a little bit of chicken on, very little chicken. And I've had, comparatively, compared to what I would put on there. And I have a little bit of that, not all of it, a little bit. I'll half it, and then I'll take the other half in the morning and eat. And I'll eat that sometime in the day now. So very little solid food for me. And right now, I'm not sure if that's too much or not. We're going to see what happens. And the rest is all liquid nutrition, which I consume all day long. And I've absolutely already began to harden up and tighten up. And I'm dropping body fat. So no cardio, and I've only worked out once. Once. And why? Because I wanted to see what was going to happen first, and the only way I can assess really what happens is if I don't put a whole bunch of shit in the game. If I jumble a bunch of shit up too much, I don't know what's doing what. So I left the workouts out, the cardio out, and that way, I'm going to see if that's my chick home. Because that way, I'm not expending additional calories. I want to get a nice baseline and then go from there. Now, my body is not the same as everybody else's body. My body is conditioned to many years of my doing everything possible to maintain muscle, to nurture muscle, to hold on to muscle. My body will hold on to muscle. And no matter who you are, me or anybody, if you diet and you totally over diet and you're totally fucking up and you cut calories too far, you will always lose fat at a faster rate than you lose muscle. Your body will always lose fat at a faster rate than you lose muscle. You will not lose muscle as easy as you guys think. People that tell you that you lose all your gains every time you turn around. You go off cycle, you lose all your gains. If you do this or do that, you lose all your gains. You go on a diet, you lose all your gains. You do cardio, you lose all your gains. These people don't have any gains. They're holding a bunch of water and they're fat. They don't have any gains. Or there are people that have gained a little bit of muscle, which I respect, and it counts. I've been there. But any time for you to start doing shit to try and, lose body fat and cut up if you're not overweight and you've only gained 5 fucking pounds of muscle or 10 pounds of real muscle so far, which is, if you go pick up 10 pounds of lean meat in a store and look at it, it's an appreciable amount of mass, okay? More than you might think. Anyway, this guy here, so what I'm trying to say is, I can do that. I'm not afraid to do that because what's the worst thing can happen? I lose a little muscle. I have enough muscle. I can lose a little muscle, and you know what? If I lose a little muscle, it's no big deal. I'll gain that muscle back in a week if I want to gain it back. If I catch it, say, I think I'll adjust this. I'll gain this muscle back. And I also, the way that I'll eat then, my body will be very receptive to gain that couple pounds of muscle back because it wants to cling, it wants to rebound. And if I don't give it anything to create body fat from, nothing in excess, then it will rebuild with muscle and I won't gain fat back because it just wants to get the pounds back. So, you have to do things in your favor. Once you understand how your body works and you learn your body, you manipulate things and you prod your body to do things that it's going to try and do anyway. You just work harmoniously with it. All right? It's like a interconnected ecosystem. One thing affects the other. Not too many people are going to try this. They would decry it, say it doesn't work, stupid. It works. You'll see. I'll show you that it works. You'll see that it works. But me, I don't really give a fuck about losing a little bit of muscle. I don't care. I can gain muscle very quickly, lose muscle very quickly. Now, when I lose muscle, I haven't really lost muscle. It's just, atrophied. It's just smaller. I still have the same amount of muscle cells. You know what I'm saying? This is why once that fascia has already been stretched and accommodated, all the muscle and the size, and I walk around that big, if I quit training for an extended period like I just did for, all that time, 7 months, 8 months, no gear, no fucking protein, basically no nothing, right? With this shoulder all fucked up. But you know what? I did eat calories. I ate calories. Didn't care what it was. Didn't matter. Didn't matter if it's protein, fat, carbs. Just ate just to keep size on. Didn't matter what kind of size. Just give my body something to work with to build material because the body wants to cling to the size. So I don't care if I drop a little muscle and gain a little bit of fat. I just want to hold the mass, the size, the strain, the stress, the load on my skeletal structure, my frame. And in doing that, then when I got back to training, switched the diet around, start to lift again. Number one, I didn't lose hardly any size. You can see it in the videos. It's a video record of it. If you watch the videos in the order that they were made, you'll see when I blew my shoulder up, and you'll see how long it was fucked up, and you'll see what I still look like when I came back to lift. So people that say, oh, yeah, so you lose it all as soon as you stop it. No, you don't. And besides that, I saw Boston Lloyd, he was talking on Generation Iron or something. He's like, oh, it's all temporary. You stop the gear, you lose the muscle, everything's temporary. Motherfucker, life is temporary. Do you understand that? So, and so what? What's your point? If you stop breathing, you'll die. Okay? If you stop lifting and stop eating, you'll atrophy. Why are you going to stop? You're going to stop breathing? No, you're not going to stop breathing. Why? Because you don't have to think about it. It just happens, right? You're going to stop eating? You got to think about that. If you stop eating, guess what? You'll shrivel up away to nothing. You'll fucking starve. You ever watch these shows? Alone or what's the other one? Naked and Afraid? How much weight these people lose when they don't have anything to eat? That's what happens when you don't have anything to eat. So everything's temporary. This life is temporary. So what? And you haven't really said anything. I don't understand your fucking point. It's like, yeah, we already know this. The gas I just filled my car up with, that's temporary. I'll have to put some more in there. So what? That's what you do. I don't know. Anyway, the guy that emailed me, dude, you got to lose some body fat, man, before you think. And what I mean to that, you have plenty of size under there. You have plenty of muscle underneath of there. But damned if you can see what you got. It's under there. Don't you want to see what you've built, what you've created? Then get that fucking fat off, and then you'll be able to see what you've got. You got to get it off. Got to get it off. It's bodybuilding. Got to get that fat off, okay? It's not that hard to do. You just got to be as disciplined with getting the fat off as you have been with trying to build the muscle and trying just to gain weight. What I would do, I wouldn't give two shits about gaining another pound of muscle. I would get the fat off. Nurture the muscle, feed the muscle, but you know what? To hold that muscle, it isn't going to take as much as it does right now. Because when you go to attack that fat, if you do everything to specifically target fat, to reduce it, and you try to nurture the muscle at the same time, body wants to cling to mass, body wants to cling to the load, it's going to cling to the muscle. It'll just be glad to cling to whatever. Works the opposite way too. Depends how you eat. Body's going to cling to whatever it can most easily. You have to go hard against the other. All right, so you go hard to get the fat off. You feed and nurture the muscle. You'll keep the muscle, you'll lose the fat. It's simple as that. Simple as that. That's what you need to do. Now, the first step you need to do is you need to stop all that shit that you're eating and putting in your diet, all those supplements, all those bullshit supplements. You need to stop that. You need to, even the pre-workout, even all the sugars, all that bullshit, that I told you, that I do, stop that. Put it on the shelf. It'll still be good. Stop all of that and see where get a baseline. Get your diet in order. Get some cardio going for sure. Get a diet in order that's designed to lose the body fat as your primary immediate objective. Then assess as you're going. Once it's coming off at a good rate, once it's going, then you can play with it a little bit and bring some things back or what have you. But initially, stop all that fucking shit. Get off all that shit. No pre-workout shit. No fucking, you want caffeine? Drink coffee. Drink all the coffee you want or just take caffeine. But, and I ain't a big fucking, sponsor of caffeine. But if you want to do that, you need something like that, go ahead and do that. It's only going to help you burn some more fat off your ass. But the simple carbs before the workout, lose it. And now another problem is I see that post-workout, you mix your post-workout shake in with a bag. You throw a bag of blueberries in there, frozen blueberries in there. Why? Why? Because some fucking imbecile told you to do this that doesn't know jack about really dieting? Listen to me. If you're taking the word of a guy that's had so many fucking procedures that I wouldn't venture a guess, okay, to alter his appearance, are you going to do that? If you're going to do that and you got deep pockets like that, and you're going to go get your abs etched, you're going to get liposuction or whatever it would take in your case, and then you get your abs etched and do whatever you're going to do, right? And just, whatever, right? Then you can do whatever you want to do as far as nutrition, because it is going to, I don't know anything about that shit. I don't know anything about the plastic surgery shit or ab etching or none of that crap, all right? Now, you're going to do all that shit? I didn't think so. Okay, so let me explain to you what blueberries are doing to you. They're making you fucking fat. Do you understand that? Why? Have you researched any of this, or you just watch YouTube videos and believe what the guy tells you? Research. It's okay if you hear me tell you something and you've never heard it before and you think, that sounds fishy, but maybe it's true. Google and study some more. And then you'll say, oh yeah, no shit, he's right. Now, I understand if I'm right on many, many occasions, you might just take my word for it. But other people, when they're wrong on many, many occasions, like making statements as, now milk's an incomplete protein. As soon as somebody comes outside of their neck with a remark like that, I can't believe the next thing they say. I'm sorry. Is it me or what? Anyway, I don't know. Now I'm feeling the caffeine, as you can tell. That coffee's getting to me. But the blueberries, the reason that they're making you fat, the reason I'm telling you that is you're taking, the modified carb, the simple carb pre-workout. Okay, what's the point in doing that? Spike your insulin level. Spike your insulin level. What does insulin do? What's insulin do, right? I hope you know what it does. It can work for you, but it can damn sure wreck you. It can totally work against you very, very easily and efficiently. So, okay, you run that insulin up high, and then I don't know how long you spend at your workout, but if you get in there and you bust it out quick, and then you're going to go throw them blueberries down there, and didn't you have some kind of fructose in your drink pre-workout too? Yeah, bad idea. Fructose is the only simple sugar. Pay attention closely. Fructose is the only simple sugar that will spike your insulin level but cannot be utilized by the body as muscle glycogen. Wow. Is that a shocker or what? Fructose cannot be utilized. The body cannot convert it to localized muscle glycogen. Any other sugar it can. So now, after your workout, if your insulin level's still kind of high in your blood, if your insulin's still up a bit, depending on what you did and how long you did, et cetera, and your condition and all this other bullshit, now you go and throw some blueberries down there. You want to get the protein in there, and catch a little whore ride off the back of that insulin that just shuttled all those, simple sugars in. Now you want to push that, protein in the muscle. But if you go throw them blueberries in there too, fructose, even if you could hold some more glycogen, that fructose ain't going there. That fructose ain't going there. Now you're finished. You're not going to expend any more energy, and you're going to load up with fructose, especially if your insulin's high. Bad idea without insulin. Bad idea. Do you understand? Don't ever throw a fucking bag of blueberries in your fucking post-workout shake as soon as you finish working out after you've just taken measures to purposely drive your insulin high. Have you measured your blood sugar? I do that. Do you do that? Right. See, anything you can imagine that I do as far as, crossing the T's and dotting the I's, like I tell you, I do. All right? So between the two, it gives me a really good idea. When I measure post-workout, it gives me a really good idea of how much I can endure, simple sugars-wise. And I also watch the pump. How big, add 25 more grams. Am I bigger or am I not getting any bigger? Not getting any bigger, no better. I'm as full as I'm going to get. And of course, many things factor into that. What my diet's like, my diet has been like that day, the past couple days, on and on and on. Anyway, first thing you do is lose all fructose from your diet. You can have all the fruit you want later on. Right now, we're in a drastic measure mode because we don't want to play around. If you want to get the fat off, get the fucking fat off. Make sure minimum gallon of water a day, gallon of water a day minimum. Only milk. It's got to be lactose free. And then I'm not sure I even recommend milk in your case, but if you want to have some milk, lactose free. I like the Fairlife. Like I've said, protein sources must be clean. All that carbohydrate shit and all that fucking fruit has got to go. All those pre-workout fucking things, all that other shit, you don't even know what's in half of it. Some kind of proprietary blend, this and that. Ditch that shit. Lose all of that. Put it on a shelf. Once you see what you look like, and you're going to be very pleasantly surprised as long as you can hang in there and put the work in, then if you really want to go back to that, you're more than welcome. It's your body. Give yourself a fighting chance first. Start out with, get a baseline established. Don't put any fucking shit in there other than food. All right? And then just follow the simple guideline, for starters. All right? No carbohydrate past, 5 p.m. or something. If you're going to have carbs, have them earlier in the day and taper them. That's how I go. So forth, so on. And burn the fucking fat off with cardio. Now, if you're not doing cardio right now, then initially you're going to lose fat just by turning the water up, by dropping all this other crap you're doing. That's going to dump a bunch of calories down the drain, which is a bunch of them. And just losing the carbs and all that shit. Your body's gonna, until your metabolism can catch its balance or try to, you're gonna drop fat from that. You're gonna drop fat from that. I'd recommend that you study up on ketosis. Try that. Fat's not so bad. You know, you can follow the ketosis deal. You can have the fat, healthy fats. Keep the carbs down, very, 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 very minimal. Undercut what you should. If you're trying to get 50 grams or less a day, I would go lower, because you can't account for everything. You might be off or make an error or whatever. Get into ketosis. You're really serious about it. Instead of buying that crap that you're buying, go get some keto sticks. All right, that'll work just fine to make sure you're in ketosis. If you don't, if you want to get even more serious about that, go to your local pharmacy and get you kind of like the sugar thing I have that reads your blood sugar level, pricking yourself. Well, you can do that for ketosis also. They have one, that'll measure it'll measure the presence of ketones. So you can do that. That's the most accurate method, much more accurate than pissing on a keto stick. So you might want to do that. But and you can email me. I'll email you back, give you some more detailed information, so that you have it. But the other thing I would say is, and again, I haven't put your name out there. Nobody knows who the hell I'm talking about. For your first cycle, you told me you went 800 mgs a week of Sustanon. I don't know how you got, was it Sustanon? It couldn't have been Sustanon, right? Because how you get 800 out of 250 milligram? How do you know you got 800? So maybe it wasn't Sustanon, but 800 mgs is some kind of test, and wasn't something else with that? Too much, bro. That's ridiculous. For first cycle ever, it's too much. Too much. Too much. How do you know what the hell did what? How do you know you couldn't have made a hell of a lot better progress with much, 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 much less? How do you know? You don't know. You don't know. You just randomly picked a number and put that shit in you. Not the wisest approach, man. Not the wisest approach. Less is more. Minimize. Just enough is enough. You understand? Just enough is enough. So right now, if I were you, I'd be working on that, getting that body fat off. All right? If it ain't coming off fast enough, get your ass on the treadmill. It's going to be hard. You're going to be tired, but you'll feel better after the first week or so. Get that body fat down, man. Do whatever you got to do. Get that fucking fat down so you can see what you got under there. See that physique under there. Once you see what you got under there, then you can roll on. And you can go on and get busy. Anybody can just eat a bunch of shit, take some gear, and go to the gym. That isn't going to deliver anything. You know why? Because most people don't make those kind of results. The majority do not. They don't. You know why? Because that's what they do. They do with the easy thing. They just eat a bunch of shit, they fucking take some gear, and then go to the gym and just wait for it to happen. That's not the way it's going to go. You got to put a routine together. You got to get educated, and eventually you got to learn your body. Okay? In my opinion, the line between beginner and you have beginner on this side of the line, you have advanced on this side of the line, you have a line delineating the two. And it's kind of a thick line, but not real thick. It's just a heavy, bold line. Now that heavy, bold line, that's intermediate. If you're walking that line, you're intermediate. You want to get to the advanced side of that line, that's once you figure things out for yourself and you have your own methods and your own approaches. They can be identical to something you saw somewhere else, but they probably will not be. There probably will be something you'll want to tweak. But if you know your own body, once you learn your own body, you learn how to read your own body and feed your own body, train your own body, specific for you, that's when you're on the other side of the line. All right? So that's it for now. I'm sorry if I seem a little gruff. Didn't mean to step on anybody's toes. But, it is what it is. It is what it is. That's it for now. I'll be back in a little bit. I got some more to talk about. Maybe I'll go put a fucking shirt on. I don't know. Have an awesome afternoon or early evening, whatever the hell it is. And I'll see you guys in a bit.